Hi friends, hope you're doing fine and welcome you with another book summary from the book Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. The self-image, your key to better life. Each one of us carry about with us a mental blueprint of picture of ourselves. That is the self-image. This self-image is our own conceptions of the sort of person I am. All our actions, feeling, behavior, even your abilities are always consistent with this self image. The self image can be changed. Numerous case histories have shown that one is never too young nor too old to change his self image and thereby start to live a new life. To really live, that is to find life reasonably satisfying, you must have a adequate and realistic self-image that you can live with. There is within each one of us a life instinct which is forever working towards health, happiness and all that make for more life for the individual. The life instincts work for you through what I call the critical creative mechanism, or when the word used correctly as a success mechanism built into each one of us. Discovering the success mechanism within you. Every living thing has a built in guidance system or a goal striving device put there by its creator to help it achieve its goals, which is in broad terms to live. Man has something animals haven't creative imagination. Thus, man for all creature is more than a creature, he is also a creator. With his imagination, he can formulate a variety of goals. Man alone can direct his success mechanism by the use of imagination or imaging ability. When we conceive of the human brain and nervous system as a form of servo mechanism, operations in accordance with the cybernetic principles, we gain a new insight into the why and wherefore of human behavior. Servo mechanisms are divided into two general types, where the target goal or answer is known and the objective is to reach or accomplish it, and where the target or answer is not known and the objective is to discover or locate it. The human brain and nervous system operates in both the ways. Once a correct or a successful response has been accomplished, it is remembered for future use. The automatic mechanism then duplicates the successful response on future trials. It has been learned how to respond successfully. It remembers its success, forgets its failures, and repeats the successful action without any further conscious thought that it has or as a habit. The unhappy failure type of personality that cannot develop a new self image by pure willpower or by arbitrarily deciding to. There must be some grounds, some justification, some reasoning for deciding the old picture of self that is in error and that a new picture is appropriate. Imagination, the first key to your success mechanism. A human being always acts and feels and performs in accordance with what he imagines to be true about himself and his environment. Your nervous system reacts appropriately to what you think or the image to be true. You must have a clear mental picture of the correct thing before you can do it successfully. Dehypnotize yourself from false beliefs. The most important thing for you to remember is that it does not matter in the least how you got the idea or where it came from. You may have never been formally hypnotized, but if have accepted an idea, and further, if you are firmly convinced that idea is true, it has the same power over you as the hypnotist words have over the hypnotized subject. It is also knowledge of actual inferiority in skill or knowledge, which gives us an inferiority complex and interferes with our living. It is the feeling of inferiority that does this. Stop measuring yourself against their standards. You are not them and you can never measure up. Neither they measure up to you or yours, nor should they. Your suggestion must be made without effort if they are to be effective. The best way to break a habit is to form a clear mental image of the desired end result and to practice without effort towards reaching that goal. Physical relaxation, when practiced daily, brings about an accompanying mental relaxation and a relaxed attitude, which enables us to better consciously control our automatic mechanism. How to utilize the power of rational thinking. As soon as the error has been recognized as such and correction of course made, it is equally important that the error be consciously forgotten and the successful attempt remembered and dwelt upon. Our errors, mistakes, failures, and sometimes even our humiliations were necessary steps in the learning process. However, they were meant to be means to an end and not an end in themselves. The minute that we change our mind and stop giving powers to the past with its mistake loses power over us. Rational thought to be effective in changing beliefs and behavior must be accompanied by deep feeling and desire. Always think of what you have to do as easy and it will become so. We must learn to do our work and act upon the best assumption available and leave results to take care of themselves. Relax and let your success mechanism work for you. Our trouble is that we ignore the automatic creative mechanism and try to do everything and solve all our problems by conscious thought or forebrain thinking. Do your worry before you place your bet, not after the wheel starts turning. Form the habit of consciously responding to the present moment. Keep constantly in mind that the job of your creative mechanism is to respond appropriately to the present environment, here and now. Try to do only one thing at a time. Stop occasionally during the day. It need only take a moment and remember in detail the sensation of relaxation. Practice this by remembering faithfully several times a day. You will be surprised at how much it reduces the fatigue and how much better you are able to handle the situations. You can acquire the habit of happiness. Happiness is simply a state of mind in which our thinking is pleasant a good share of the time. We are never living, but only hoping to live and looking forward always to be happy. It is inevitable that we never look forward to. When one problem is solved, another appears to take its place. Life is a series of problems. If you want to be happy at all, you must be happy. That's all. That's period. Happiness is a mental habit which can be cultivated and developed. Form the habit of reacting aggressively and positively towards threats and problems. Form the habit of keeping goal oriented all the time, regardless of what happens. The measure of mental health is the disposition to find good everywhere. Ingredients of the success type personality and how to acquire them. A good personality is one which enables you to deal effectively and appropriately with the environment and reality, and to gain satisfaction from reaching the goals which are important to you. The success type personality is composed of sense of direction, understanding, courage, charity, esteem, self confidence, and self acceptance. When you are not goal striving, not looking forward to, you are not really living. Admit your mistakes and errors, but don't cry over them. Correct them and move forward. Often, the differences between a successful man and a failure is not one's better ability or ideas, but the courage that one has to bet on his ideas, to take a calculated risk, and to act. When a person begins to feel more charitably about others, he invariably begins to feel more charitably towards himself. Begin to appreciate other people more. Show respect for any human being merely because he is a child of God and therefore a thing of value. Confidence is built upon an experience of success. Form the habit of remembering past successes and forgetting the failures. It does not matter how many times you have failed in the past, what matters is the most is the successful attempt that you have made, which could be remembered, reinforced, and dwelt upon. No real success or genuine happiness is possible until a person gains some degree of self confidence and self acceptance. Self acceptance means accepting and coming to terms with ourselves now, just as we are, with all our faults, weaknesses, shortcomings, errors, as well as our sore assets and strength. So, self acceptance is easier. However, if we realize that these negatives belongs to us, they are not us. The failure mechanism. How to make it work for you instead of against you. The failure type personality also has its symptoms. We need to be able to recognize these failures symptoms in ourselves so that we can do something about them. Negative feedback signals frustration, hopelessness, futility, aggressiveness, insecurity, loneliness, uncertainty, resentment, and emptiness. Chronic frustration usually means that the goals we have set for ourselves are unrealistic, or the image we have of ourselves is inadequate, or both. Frustration as the way of solving problems does not work. Misdirected aggression is an attempt to hit one target by lashing out at any target. It does not work. The best channel of all aggression is to use it up as it was intended to be used in working towards some goal. The feeling of insecurity is based upon a concept or belief of inner inadequacy. If you feel that you don't measure up to what it is required, you will feel insecure. Loneliness is a way of self protection. It is the way to protect our idealized self against exposure, hurt, or humiliation. Uncertainty is a way of avoiding mistakes and responsibility. Big men and big personalities make mistakes and admit them. It is the little man who is afraid to admit he has been wrong. Resentment is an attempt to make our own failures palatable by explaining it in terms of unfair treatment and injustice. Habitual resentment invariably leads to self pity, which is the worst possible emotion habit anyone can develop. Life becomes worthless when you have worthwhile goals. How to remove emotional scars or how to give yourself an emotional facelift. A big, strong man does not feel threatened by a small danger. A little man does. In the same way, a healthy, strong ego with plenty of self esteem does not feel itself threatened by every innocent remark. The person who has little or no self reliance, who feels emotionally dependent upon others, make himself most vulnerable to emotional hurts. We are injured and hurt emotionally, not so much by other people or what they say or don't say, but by our own attitude and our own response. Forgiveness, when it is real and genuine and complete and forgotten, is a scalpel which can remove the pus from the old emotional wounds, heal them, and eliminate scar tissues. How to unlock your real personality. What we call personality is the outward evidence of that unique and individual creative self made in the image of God, that spark of divinity with us, or what might be called the free and full expression of your real self. The way to make a good impression on other people is never consciously try to make a good impression on them. Never act or fail to act purely for consciously contrived effort. Don't wonder in advance what you are going to say. Just open your mouth and say it. Don't think you before you act. Act and correct your actions as you go along. Stop criticizing yourself. Make a habit of speaking louder than usual. Let people know when you like them. Do it yourself tranquilizers which bring peace of mind. It is well to get clearly in your mind that the fact our disturbed feelings or anger, hostility, fear and anxiety, insecurity are caused by our own responses, not by externals. Response means tension. Lack of response means relaxation. Each one of us needs a quiet room inside his own mind, a quiet center within him, like the deep of the ocean that is never disturbed, no matter how rough the waves may become upon the surface. Whenever you have a spare moment during the day, between appointments, riding the bus, retire into your quiet room. Be like the promontory against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. As far as your emotions are concerned, the proper response to worry picture is totally ignore them. Live emotionally in the present moment. How to turn a crisis into a creative opportunity. A crisis is a situation which can either make you or break you. If you react properly to the situation, a crisis can give you strength, power, wisdom. You don't want to ordinarily possess them. If you react improperly, a crisis can rob you of the skill, control, and the ability that you ordinarily have to call upon. Practice without pressure, and you will learn more efficiently and be able to perform better in a crisis situation. Too much tension, too much motivation, too much anxiety results jam the mechanism. How to get that winning feeling? If we keep our positive goal in mind and picture it ourselves so vividly as to make it clear and real and think of it in the terms of an accomplished fact, we will also experience winning feelings, self confidence, courage, and faith that the outcomes will be desirable. When you feel successful and self confident, you will act successfully. The object of a practice is to make repeated trials constantly correct errors until a hit is scored. If you can recapture the winning feeling, you also evoke all the winning actions that accompanied it. Use your creative imagination to picture yourself just how you would act and just how you would feel if you had already succeeded. If you react to the negative feeling aggressively and positively, they will become challenges, which will automatically arouse more power and more ability within us. More years of life and more life in your years. Mental attitudes can influence the body's healing mechanism. When we decide to curtail mental and social activities, we stultify ourselves, develop an enthusiasm for life, create a need for more life, and you will receive more in life. You will receive experience happiness only as you experience more in life. If you're interested to watch such inspirational and knowledgeable summaries which can transform your life, then hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates.